Purple Ties Podcast. Great stories of Trevecca Trojans and life on the Hill.
Welcome in. Greg Ruff along with you, and joining me is Ryan Schmalz, our baseball coach here at Trevecca, for episode number 12 of the Purple Ties Podcast. About time we got you in here, right, Ryan?
Yeah, man, I've loved it. I love watching the podcast, and it's a good excuse to throw a shirt and tie on here at home. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited to be on it.
You motivated me. Michael Johnson, who's not with us today, kind of called me out for being the first one to break the Purple Ties tradition. And so I'm back on it today. I was motivated by you today because you actually asked and wanted to wear a tie. So
yeah, heck yeah, I wanted to. It's the Purple Ties. I mean, you gotta support the tie. So glad to get you back on track.
I'm in Hermitage. David Klimkowski is in an undisclosed location producing and all that kind of stuff today. We can't share where he is, as you know, Ryan. You're very familiar with why we can't tell people where he is. But where about do you live in the Middle Tennessee area?
Yeah, I live down in kind of South Franklin, kind of sort of by Page High School, so kind of out in the country a little bit.
Franklin J. Page. Well, I'm not going to waste any time here because got a call about this and started working on it. And these are the days that I don't necessarily like, but in another way, it's great because you have some news. I'm going to let you share it, because I don't want to be the one to say it. I'm just going to let you share the news and why specifically that we're doing this Purple Ties podcast.
Yeah, sure. Yesterday, I submitted my resignation as the baseball coach at Trevecca. I've had some opportunities come up outside of baseball, and it's something I've been thinking about for quite some time. If I want to coach for the rest of my working career, and there's a lot of mixed feelings right now, and I'm really sad. I'm really scared, really excited as well, and I absolutely love my job, but it has not come without a lot of sacrifice through the years, for sure, and this COVID pandemic it's really convicted me, to be honest, about the amount that I've missed out on with my family, my kids' events, family dinners. There's so many times when I'm out the door before they wake up, and I get to spend 20 or 30 minutes with them at home when I get home before they go to bed, and I guess I'm just not willing to do that anymore, and trying to reprioritize things and really connect with my family a little bit more.
We've seen, you and I have been in sports in different ways over the years, and you've seen people do something similar to this, and sometimes they do it and then they go get another job in sports, but you're actually getting out of coaching baseball altogether, and I think that speaks volumes to actually what you're saying. And I think the COVID thing has had a lot of us thinking about a lot of different things, and I don't think our world will ever be the same for this, and in a lot of ways will be for the good, not necessarily all of them. But I think as I learned about this, I automatically start thinking back, and I think back to, and we're going to roll some pictures in from you over the years here at Trevecca, and I think your story is so unique, and it was so neat when you came to work here, just the ties, just the fact that you had played for a former coach here, but at another school, and I thought that was interesting in and of itself. But talk a little bit, just tell your story, how you got to Trevecca, and why you applied to Trevecca in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. I graduated from Olivet Nazarene, 2003 maybe, and right after that, I got my first coaching job at Morehead State University, and I was a grad assistant there for 2 years, and then I got my first full-time coaching job as an assistant at Lincoln Memorial under Jeff Sixeye in Harrogate, Tennessee. I was there for 7 years, and then the head coaching job came out. It actually came open twice. The first time I applied for the job, I don't know if a lot of people know that, I didn't get it. And then Mike Lord was hired, and he moved on after 1 year, and I reapplied because I really wanted to be here so bad. I was scared to death I was going to get turned down twice, but I got the job here, and I've been here the last 8 years. But the reason I really wanted to be at Trevecca was because I think that Trevecca is a gold mine. I think that it has a really, really unique combination of things. And I tell every recruit that walks into my office this, that it's in a great city. You're surrounded by tremendous people within the athletic department, coaching staff, faculty, administrators. There's just people who really genuinely care about the students. That's really, really obvious to me from the very beginning when I got here. It's a place that has terrific facilities. It's a program that has a winning tradition. And for me, one thing that was really important was, the culture of faith, for me to be able to openly express my faith, to share that with the players and my staff, and to kind of walk alongside of my players as they have developed, and both on the field and off the field. And so when you put all those elements together, I thought Trevecca was just a perfect fit for me, and it turned out to be even better than I expected. It's a unbelievable place, and it's been a huge, huge blessing in my life just to be able to work there for the last 8 years.
The players, from the very start, I think it's always interesting when you do what I've done for so long. You notice different things, and one of the things that you notice is coaching transitions and how the team that's already there returning responds. And it's not always good, as you know, but there was something different about you and those first early teams. They were your guys from the very beginning, and they took to you and you took to them, and that doesn't always happen. And you guys won a lot too. That helped.
Yeah, that did help. And those early teams, Greg, number one, I got really lucky to be around some really good people, maintain Luke Brown as a part of my coaching staff from that very first year. He was a huge part of that, that cohesiveness that we had. And I told that team in my very first meeting that it was my goal to give them the very best baseball experience of their life, because those guys had been through a lot. They, some of those seniors and upperclassmen had been through 3 coaches in 3 years. I was their third coach in 3 years. It was Jonathan Burton when he took off, and then Coach Lord was there for the year before me, and then myself. And being a college baseball player should be a tremendous experience. And I just really felt for those guys that they had so much turnover in their program. And on the field and off, I just wanted to give those guys the best experience that I possibly could. And I think we had like a really lonely bench that first year, 2 or 3 guys on the bench sometimes, and the numbers were really down. But those are some of my best memories from coaching and from being at Trevecca is those first couple of years. Those players will always have a special place in my heart for sure.
And just you've had a lot of great players over the years, and not necessarily great baseball players, but great guys. And I think that's something that's very, very important to you, is having chemistry. And I've seen that you work as hard off the field on them as you do on their skills on the field, right?
Oh, absolutely. I can't stop my brain right now from thinking about the conversations I've had with players in the office, and helping them get through things off the field, praying with them, just connecting with what's going on in their life. And that's by far my favorite part of the job, is just those connections with players, and their families. It's not just the players. I mean, it's their families too, the moms and dads, that I've built a relationship with going back for years. And that's not going to change for me. The teams that I've had, I want to maintain a really, really strong bond and connection with those families. And it's fun to see some of the players from my first few years, what they're doing now. I mean, there's, a lot of players that are in coaching. There's school administrators, business leaders, having their own families now. So I love connecting with those guys and seeing what's going on in their lives right now.
You mentioned one of them, Luke Brown, but you have had some really great assistant coaches and people walk alongside you. Not just the coaches, but some of the parents have come alongside and helped.
Yeah.
You mentioned the facilities. The facilities have grown significantly during your time, and you had a pretty nice field to start with, but you've just made it even better. And that comes from you, but also some other people walking alongside with your parents and other ones making donations, stuff like that. Just talk about some of the coaches and some of the other people that have really been key in your tenure here.
Well, from the very beginning, right when I was hired, I started using the word family. And that was originally, I didn't mean just the players when I started using that. Like, the amount of people that go into a successful athletic program, sports information, for one, compliance, athletic director, athletic training, admissions, financial aid, professors, the cafeteria, the bus driver. I mean, on and on and on. There's so many people that it takes to run, a successful baseball program. And I'm just so grateful that I've had a chance to work with all those people for the last 8 years. And at the top of that list is my assistant coaches, Luke Brown, first and foremost. Him and Nashawn Moore was the first guy that I hired when I was, started working here. And Brad Kuhn was with me that first year. He's maybe the best player ever to play at Trevecca. And I had him on my staff for a year, and he's, moved on to better coaching positions since then. And, there's been a long line of them, coaches that I've had that have done a fantastic job. Coach Blunt, Tanner, he's obviously moved on to bigger and better things now. And, Coach Sane, he's with me now. Coach Leggett, Coach Mang, who played for me. It's fun to have guys that I've retained from being players to move on and into the coaching world. And I get a lot of satisfaction out of that too. So, those guys, the assistant coaches have been the backbone of this program for longer than I've been here. They're the ones, out recruiting and developing players, putting in long hours, and just behind the scenes making things happen. And I've just been really lucky to work with all those guys that I have.
This is a hard question, and you can answer it any way you want because there's so many. We could stay here for an hour and you not really fully answer this question. But what are some of the monumental moments for you? It doesn't necessarily have to be a championship, whatever, but is there two or three things that, or maybe it's just one that you would say that is the most memorable thing for you in your time at Trevecca? I know winning the first championship was pretty special, and it's one of my favorite photographs that we've ever taken. I think it was Matt Toy that actually took the one where you're sitting there with the trophy with all the guys. And we're going to show that over this video at different times. But just talk about maybe some of the most special moments, the memorable things. You won 100, you won 200, those type of things.
Yeah. That picture you're talking about is really rewarding for me because that was kind of the culminating moment of that first year. Those guys celebrating, and that picture you're talking about really kind of captures the passion and the energy that team had. And that's definitely one of them. I think that, the facility is definitely, some key moments there, like the lights, going back to 8 years ago. That's been something that, people have been trying to do that for years and years and years. And I got to reap the benefits of the work that a lot of other coaches put in, Coach Collins, Coach Burton, a lot of these people, Coach Forehand, that try to get some of these things done. And I kind of got to stand on their shoulders, and that was a really, really big moment. And I think that generated a lot of momentum for getting more facility projects done. So that's something I'll remember for sure. But, the thing that stands out to me, try to say without getting too emotional, but, we do a senior banquet every year, and those players get to stand there and just talk about all of the memories and the people that have helped them. And I'm going to miss that for sure. That's probably all the wins, championships, all that aside, that's definitely my favorite moment of the year. Is to see those seniors go from being freshmen and move through our program, and all of a sudden they get a chance to stand up there and talk about their experience at Trevecca. So that's without question. We've done that. We didn't get a chance to do it this year because of COVID, but we've done it 7 times, and it's my favorite moment by far is a chance to hear those guys talk about their experience at Trevecca.
You have provided me with a lot of great memories and getting to cover your team and watch you with your guys. There was one moment, though, that I thought about last night, and that is when Jimmy Justin Daly came out on the mound for like the 20th time to come back from injury and pitched, and seeing you and the team and the training staff, that's what it's all about. Got a guy who fought through multiple injuries and got out there and had success. And so those are the moments that you remember. And I can imagine when our athletes start talking, especially near the end of their career, those are very special moments, because you start realizing that the stuff that you did mattered to them.
Yeah.
So anything you'd want to do to close? I know there's a lot of people at Trevecca you'd want to thank, and we're talking about ways to do that, but anything you'd want to close with just in this opportunity to speak to people?
Yeah, I would. There's so many people that I could thank by name, and I'm going to forget people for sure, but Mark Elliott and Dr. Boone for sure. Just, when I was hired here, I had no head coaching experience, and definitely they took a chance on me. And every day at Trevecca, I tried to make those guys proud, and try to make them realize they didn't make a mistake. So, but there's so many people, Greg, yourself, the other coaches that I've learned from and worked with, in the athletic department, the professors, there's so many people across campus that, we'd be here all day if I went through them each one by one to thank them for everything they've done for our program. But most of all, the players, the players and the people within the program have sacrificed right along with me day in and day out and given me everything they've had. And I can't thank those guys enough. I love them. We'll forever be a family. And, it's just been a huge honor and blessing to be the head coach at Trevecca.
Well, you're a Trojan for life now, and you're one of the coaching alums, and we wish you the best. Very happy for you and your family, and your family's been a part of the Trevecca family throughout from day one. I remember your wife and girls coming, I think it was the Sounds game or something like that, and you guys were all in from the very beginning, and that's what it takes. So,
well, it does. It takes you have to be surrounded by people that are all in, and my wife and my kids have been for sure. They don't even realize how much they've sacrificed over the last 8 years, and done it so joyfully, cheerfully, that they love the players, and all of them were in tears when I told them this was going on, that we were not going to be coaching anymore, and they're excited too, but this has been a part of their journey just as much as it has been mine, and they've been right alongside me this whole entire time. So very, very grateful for them as well.
Well, for Ryan Schmalz, we'll wrap this up for episode number 12. We thank you for watching. You can catch it on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll tweet it out as well. Thank you very much, Ryan, for all you've done.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
All right. We'll conclude it from now. Get more at TNUtrojans.com.
Purple Ties Podcast. Great stories of Trevecca Trojans and life on the Hill.